please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log, subdates 230817.4. We have a dire need for some YouTube drama to give us an excuse to pretend we're better than the Oiks. As is well known, I'm definitely better than my crew, it is my birthright, and it's never an excuse, I'm just better than you. Book thud for effect. Welcome everyone to the exhibition of stupid people, which is one of the few series I have left on this channel where I don't have to change the name of it. Hi Twitter, X, dickhead. Today we're going to start with Fousey, because I have no earthly idea what's going on with Fousey still. I see his streams every so often on Kick. By the way, I have a Kick channel. 20 more followers over there and I'll be able to enable subscriptions. I'm trying to grow the platform because I'd like to consider eventually moving from Twitch to there. Any additional support would be greatly appreciated. It's free to follow. Please consider doing so, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla for those who are interested. Link in the pinned comment will be the first thing. Let's go to some tweets concerning Fousey with videos and see if we can work out what's going on. Keemstar. Fousey comes out as black.
I'm coming back for blood. They blackballed me from the industry. They forgot about two things, my black balls.
Absolutely. You don't fuck with black balls.
What?
You don't fuck with them. Right?
Oh, like they don't fuck with me because I have black balls.
I was
get it.
A third person.
Yeah.
Well, this is fresh information. I had no idea that Fousey felt this way. I hope someone's called a wellness check though. The next tweet comes from Colossal is Crazy. What the hell is going on? I'm coming out of retirement for this? This man is going to kill someone. We have a video from this as well. Also from stream. Yeah, I'm a little concerned when I see this. Also Kick, by the way, because he is so irrational and so out of control, so diva-esque, it's hard to tell whether he knows what is or is not reality.
Hello. What? The restaurant is in here. Okay, somebody leave me. Look what's happening right now. This guy's trying to go viral off my name. Get the f*** away!
Oh my god.
One of you should have stepped in and protected me. What the f***? He's trying to go viral off my name. He's asking me about July 15th and Keem. What the f***? Nobody does shit, man.
This video is a bit longer, so I've got to insert me now for fair use purposes. But I'm now going to go back to another clip from that same video before we continue. I have more videos.
Wait. Hey, Peter. What did I just say in there? You never let me leave. This is what I'm trying to say. No.
No, you guys.
No. Listen.
Linda.
Please.
Linda.
What are you doing in that moment? Canadians, why are you so slow?
Canadians are kind.
Let's get the
She called me a psychopath.
Brillo need to go to a massage parlor, quote, at Fousey. His head must be itchy.
There, you got it. I don't want a menu. I don't want to eat.
What do you have?
I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat. Yeah.
What do you like to eat?
I'm very annoyed.
Where is it? Right here?
Nothing's working.
Yo! I'm out in Vegas and guess what?
I need to go, Peter.
I'm the number one
Peter.
Yes, sir.
I need to go to the nearest massage parlor. Can you find one?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
When you go to a restaurant, generally speaking, you want food. Yeah. You're in Vegas after all, right? That's what you do in Vegas. Okay. Keemstar. Fousey was promised life-changing money if he didn't get cancelled in 7 days. Then he gets accused of emotionally abusing his girlfriend/assistant. Then he gets kicked out of a casino.
So Nick knows about the phone call I had. The one that I said is the biggest phone call I had. The reason I'm so calm right now, because my life has changed forever, alhamdulillah. But there's one stipulation. I have to go 1 week not making any negative headlines, not getting in trouble.
A few moments later.
Do you think it's fair for me to be abused while...
Abused? You're gonna use that word? Really?
Yeah, that's emotionally abusive.
Hey! You and your hotel. They're kicking us out. So disrespectful. I said, punch me right now. I'll record you. Punch me. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
By the way, Fousey blocked Keemstar. The fun thing here is, in the past, Keemstar has been well known to have tried to help Fousey. He really has. He exhausted every option to try and get Fousey on the right track, but Fousey just refuses to listen. He refuses to play ball, and he refuses to accept he might need to step back again. There is clearly a limit to what he can do before he succumbs to external influences changing him or making him become more of something he really shouldn't be. And as entertaining as it is, he gets over 10,000 viewers live stream on Kick. It is entertaining, no doubt. It is very damaging to his health long term and his safety. His behaviour is quite petty, bitchy, and it makes him look remarkably weak. As if he wasn't a lol cow already, this will do him no favours. He needs to step back. Of course, if he doesn't want to, there is a personal choice aspect to it. But when a line is crossed and you go a bit too far, and I think he's getting close, you might want to impose it. Wellness check first though, yeah? Okay. Let's move on. UK band The 1975 have been ordered to pay a Malaysian festival organiser over £2 million in damages within 7 days, or face legal action in the UK. Future South Asia, the organiser of Kuala Lumpur's Good Vibes Festival, has confirmed that it has issued a 7-day letter of claim to the band, requesting a large amount. The letter of claim was announced on the 7th of August, though further details were unknown at the time. In a new statement, the festival's organisers' legal counsel said the 7-day notice is dated August 7th, meaning the band have until the 14th, so 2 days ago, 3 days ago, however many days ago. The reason for the amount demanded is because Matt Healy breached a contract. This was a written assurance that he and the band's live performance would adhere to all local guidelines and regulations during their set in Malaysia. Despite this, it was ignored, and the band's actions also clearly contravened the contract with FSA, which led to the cancellation of the festival. The reason why is because Matt Healy's a bit of a moron. In 1871, it was, and LGBT rights in general were made illegal, up to 20 years imprisonment with caning and fines. Muslim citizens face additional charges in an Islamic court under Sharia. It is a crime to be a part of that. To take your white knighting of a westernized interpretation to another country is dangerous. It is dangerous for many reasons. The most obvious reason are those that are LGBT in Malaysia, who you have selfishly now put under the microscope and thrown under the bus, so you can look as virtuous as possible. I fully agree that every country, every person on this planet should be able to live free of the consequence of who they are. And that includes sexuality, it includes religion, it includes gender, sure, everything. I fully agree. I do not agree it is the government's job to morally determine what is or is not acceptable. In before a pedantic shit says, shut the fuck up. Just shut up, alright? Matt Healy has made a mistake here, a big mistake. A festival was cancelled mid-performance at day 1 of that festival on the 21st of July. During it, he criticised the government for anti-LGBTQ laws during the festival. Matt Healy did later say, I made a mistake. When we were booking shows, I wasn't looking into it. I don't see the effing point, right? I do not see the point of inviting the 1975 to a country and then telling us who we can have sex with. Continuing, I'm sorry that if it offends you, and you're religious and it's part of your effing government, but your government are a bunch of effing R's, and I don't care anymore. If you push, I'm going to push back. I'm not in the effing mood. I'm not in the effing mood. Don't be in the effing mood. Just be acutely aware that people are going to start clamping down even harder on the LGBTQ community in Malaysia because of you. So how about stop making this about yourself? There is a bigger picture here, and to try to impact any societal change, that is not how you do it. It is not the same type of country the United Kingdom is. The democracy is nowhere near similar. Why don't you go back to weirdly kissing your fans during your shows? And then before someone now says, I'm perhaps highlighting the LGBTQ community in Malaysia, and they might not agree. Actually, they do. While Healy himself says he doesn't care about any white saviour complex, he firmly believes doing the right thing requires sacrifice with very little reward. Again, you are coming at this from the wrong perspective. You really are, Matt. You are fundamentally misunderstanding that this requires more tact. You kissing your bassist on stage and having your show cancelled is nothing compared to people being flogged and sent to prison for 20 years. This has been my TED Talk, by the way. You're all welcome. Let's move on. The final subject I'd like to talk about is something I've been trying to archive for 2 days. Graeme Linehan was trending. Graeme Linehan has essentially lost everything. He has created some of the most beloved sitcoms in the form of Father Ted and the IT Crowd, but his reputation Not so good, because he has taken a very firm stance against trans people. He's essentially excommunicated in the entertainment industry. He had for a while lost his Twitter account. I've always held the belief that that was the wrong decision. Many celebrated it, but as I had said back when it happened, but now you don't know where he is. While you may have nullified the presence of his voice on one platform, his voice will go somewhere else, and it will grow there if it has to grow there. Recently, he was meant to be part of a comedy show. This comedy show has been cancelled. Leith Arches said it had pulled the gig after claiming it does not align with our overall values, which had me wonder. I assume the only reason you pulled him wasn't because you had an issue with Graeme at first. It was only when others realised Graeme was involved. Up until that moment, you were just happy to see how far you could get away with using him. Graeme himself has urged the venue to reconsider its decision and has suggested that the cancellation could well be unlawful. Leith Arches claimed that they had no idea Graeme Linehan would be taking part in the show because it was organised by a third party. In a social media post, Leith Arches thanked members of the public for their complaints. Quote, "We do not support this comedian or his views, and we will not be allowed to perform. He will not be allowed to perform at our venue and is cancelled from Thursday's comedy show with immediate effect." Edinburgh for a long time has been considered a bastion of comedy, fringe festival, and culture. They like to champion this until somebody runs counter to some of their beliefs, their very left-leaning progressive ideas. Problem is, they've created a line in the sand and said, well, this is actually only a left-leaning thing now. Only those who are pro everything we are pro can be considered funny. Linehan had responded by challenging the venue to explain which of his views it found offensive, posting, "It sure sounds like discrimination on the grounds of my legally protected beliefs." He actually does, rather annoyingly to many I'm sure, have a point. But this is where the "you have freedom of speech but you are not free of consequence" comes into effect. Earlier this year, Edinburgh comedy venue The Stand cancelled a scheduled Fringe Festival appearance by SNP MP Joanna Cherry after staff had said they were not comfortable with her views on transgender issues. Joanna Cherry on Twitter, upon seeing Graeme Linehan trending, tweeted, "More petulant cancellation. Someone in a position of political or cultural leadership needs to call this out, or Edinburgh, the home of the Enlightenment, is in danger of becoming an unlawful discrimination and anti-free speech hotspot." Joanna Cherry was in Parliament, quite highly regarded for a while within the SNP ranks in the UK Parliament, that is, not in the Scottish one. No one cares about that Mickey Mouse place. But she fell out of favour with Nicola Sturgeon, the former leader, because of this issue, oddly enough. A straw that broke the camel's back that has actually caused a small divide within the totalitarian regime in Scotland, the one-dimensional one-party system that now currently has a leader that hates his own country, and the 95% of people that vote in that country that also happen to be white, because they're white. James Essex on Twitter had tweeted in the trending area of this. Last year, Edinburgh Fringe platformed a show which asked, "Is J.K. Rowling the devil?" Yet Graeme Linehan and the entire comedy show he is a part of has been cancelled for daring to speak up in favour of biological reality. One rule for me, another for thee. Point here, J.K. Rowling is not the devil. No, she inspired a generation. Graeme Linehan inspired a generation as well. But as is often the case, there is always a divergence at some point with people, and some are unwilling to accept this reality, putting people on such a high pedestal, instead favouring jokes like this that has to be read off a tablet, which doesn't really give it any kind of comedy value, does it?
Graeme Linehan, if you don't know, is a former sitcom writer who ruined his career with transphobia, or as he calls it, defence of single-sex spaces. In fact, he's such an intense believer in single-sex spaces that his wife divorced him and made his house one.